Welcome to the Mila and Oscar Talk. I'm Mila. I'm sitting here in my studio, looking out at the city skyline, watching the rain blur the edges of the buildings like a charcoal drawing. It's a quiet morning, the kind that makes you reflect on the deeper layers of how we connect with one another. Joining me from his much greener, quieter corner of the world is Oscar. How are you, Oscar?
Hello, Mila. It's peaceful here today. I've been thinking a lot about our last conversation. I spent a lot of time walking through the fields here with my dog, practicing my English out loud. But when I actually step into a room full of people, especially professional people, I feel like my voice loses its weight. I have the words, but I don't have the presence.
That is a very profound observation, Oscar. What you're describing is the invisible barrier. It's that gap between knowing a language and owning it. Many learners focus so much on the mechanics of grammar that they forget that communication is an art form. It's about energy, psychology, and the space you allow yourself to take up.
Exactly. I don't want to just be grammatically correct anymore. I want to sound like someone people listen to. I want to sound polished.
Then that is exactly what we will master today. We aren't just training you to speak English, we're training you to speak with authority. We're going to look at the psychological minimizers that shrink your voice, the sonic architecture of your sentences, and how to pivot from a mindset of learning to a mindset of mastery. Are you ready to dive deep?
I've been waiting for this lesson. Let's begin.
Let's start with the just trap. This is a subtle linguistic habit that acts like a slow leak in your confidence. Oscar, if you have an idea in a meeting, how do you usually introduce it?
I'd probably say, I just think maybe we could try a different approach.
Right there. Just, maybe, and could. You've used three words that exist only to protect you from being wrong. But by protecting yourself, you are also making your idea sound unimportant. When you say, I just think, you are telling the listener, you don't have to take me seriously.
Wow, I thought I was being polite. I didn't want to sound aggressive.
Politeness and confidence are not enemies. You can be warm and assertive at the same time. Let's try an authority shift. Remove the just and the maybe. Try it again.
I think we should try a different approach.
Better. Now let's go deeper. Replace think with a high-value verb. Try propose or believe.
I propose we try a different approach. Pause. You're right. It feels heavier. It feels like I'm standing taller.
Exactly. You are no longer asking for permission to have an opinion. You are stating a position. This is the first step in sounding polished. Stop shrinking your sentences.
That leads me to something else I struggle with. I apologize constantly. If I can't remember a word, I say, sorry, my English is so bad. If I take too long to answer, I say, sorry for being slow.
This is a very common habit, and it is a status killer. When you apologize for your English, you are forcing the other person to comfort you. You are making the conversation about your struggle rather than the topic at hand.
That's true. It makes the atmosphere a bit awkward, doesn't it?
It does. To truly sound polished, we use the gratitude pivot. Instead of apologizing for a weakness, thank the other person for their strength.
Can you give me an example?
Instead of sorry for my bad English, try thank you for being patient as I explain this complex idea. Instead of sorry I'm late with this reply, try thank you for your patience while I gathered the necessary information.
That feels much more professional. It treats the other person like a partner, not a judge.
Exactly. It keeps the power balance equal. It shows that you value your own time and thoughts, which in turn makes them value your thoughts. Let's practice. Imagine you made a small grammar mistake and someone corrected you.
Normally, I'd say, oh, sorry, I'm still learning. But now, I should say, thank you for that correction. That's very helpful for my growth.
Perfect. You've just turned a mistake into a professional exchange. That is the essence of being polished.
This is where it gets tricky for me. The sound of my voice. When I'm nervous, my voice goes high and I speak way too fast. I sound like I'm running away from the conversation.
We call that the flight response in speech. To counter this, we have to look at the sonic architecture of your voice. There are two main components: downward inflection and the intentional cause.
Downward inflection. Is that like singing?
In a way, many learners use upspeak, where the pitch of your voice goes up at the end of a sentence, making every statement sound like a question. It makes you sound uncertain. Confident, polished speakers end their sentences on a lower note. It sounds like a period at the end of a sentence.
I am confident in this result. Pitch goes up. I am confident in this result. Pitch goes down. Oh, the second one sounds much more like a fact.
Precisely. Now, let's talk about the pause. In the city, everyone is rushing, but the most powerful people I know are the ones who aren't afraid of 2 seconds of silence. Silence is not a gap you need to fill with or Silence is a tool.
But if I pause, won't they think I've forgotten my English?
Not if your body language is calm. If you pause, look them in the eye, and then speak, it looks like you are choosing your words carefully. It makes your words seem more valuable. It's like a gallery. You don't crowd the paintings. You give them space so people can appreciate them.
Speed is the enemy. The pause is the power. I'm going to practice that in my next meeting.
To round out your presence, we need to upgrade your vocabulary, not by using big words, but by using precise words. Oscar, what are some words you use too much?
Good, bad, problem, think. They're like my safety blankets.
They are survival English. To move to impact English, we need to be surgical. If something is good, is it effective, efficient, or robust? If there is a problem, are we dealing with a challenge, a discrepancy, or an oversight?
Oversight. That sounds like I analyzed the situation deeply.
It shows you understand the nuances. Let's try a quick drill. Instead of saying, "We need to make this plan better," give me a polished version.
We need to optimize this strategy to ensure better results.
Excellent. Instead of, "I'll look at the numbers," try,
I will analyze the data and provide an update.
"You sound like a leader already, Oscar. You aren't just talking, you are directing the flow of information."
Mila, this has been an eye-opening session. I realized that my English isn't the problem. It was my perspective. I was treating English like a test I had to pass, rather than a tool I could use to build my presence.
That is the ultimate goal, Oscar. Language is just a medium. You are the artist. Whether you're in a small town or a massive boardroom, the way you respect your own voice dictates how others will respect it.
I feel much more equipped now. I'm going to go for a walk without my dog this time and just practice the downward inflection and the gratitude pivot.
I think Buster can handle a day without being your only student, Oscar. Before we go, let's summarize for our listeners. To speak confidently, remove minimizers, delete just and maybe, pivot to gratitude, replace sorry with thank you, master the sonic architecture, use downward inflection and own the pause, use precise vocabulary, replace survival words with high-impact verbs.
And if you want to take this even further, we've put together a masterclass guide for this episode. It includes a power verb dictionary and a checklist for the art of presence. You can find the link in the description below.
If this episode resonated with you, please subscribe and leave us a review. It helps us keep creating content that goes beyond the basics.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember, your voice deserves to be heard.
Speak with grace, everyone. Until next time.